Hi everybody, my name is Viddy, and I'm from Otterbine's Tech Help. Today, I'll be talking you guys through using Safari and the internet on an Apple iPad device. I decided to start making these videos because I know a lot of you residents have trouble with your devices, and I'm hoping these videos will help you guys out. So like I said, today I'll be talking about Safari and the internet, specifically on an iPad. If you would like to see how to do the same thing on an iPhone, I'll be making a video for that as well, so stay tuned. A lot of you may be wondering, how does the Safari icon even look like? So, if you look at the bottom of the screen, it'll be a little white box with a blue circle inside, and red and white arrows pointing out of it. In this screen, it's right next to the Messages icon and the Apple Music icon. So if I go ahead and click on the Safari button, it will open up a new tab or page for me. Depending on where I'd like to go, whether that be accessing a news website or the Kroger app, I can type it up in the search bar at the top. So if I click on the search bar and I say Kroger, I can hit go and a list of links related to Kroger will pop up. I'd click on the Kroger.com website specifically to take me to their webpage. And I could sign into my account and order my groceries for the week like usual. If I'd like to close out of this tab, I would hit the 4 squares at the top right corner, and then click the X button at the top right of this page. And there you go, the tab has been closed. I can use the exact same steps to access any other website. So I'd click on the search bar at the top, and this time I would say the Washington Post if I wanted to read a news article. And there you go, a new set of links related to the Washington Post this time opens up. I would click on their specific webpage, and I could go about my daily reading. If I'd like to close this tab, similarly, I would click the 4 squares at the top right corner and click on the X button to close out of the tab. There are a couple other features up in the search bar that I'd like to walk you through as well. Right next to the 4 squares at the top right, you'll see a little plus button. If I click on that, it'll open up a new tab for me. Now, if I'd like to share the web page that I am on, I can click on the icon right next to the plus button, which would be a little square with an arrow pointing out of it. And that's going to be my share button. If I click on it, it'll give me a couple options depending on how I want to share my web page, through AirDrop or messages or an email. So if I'd like to text myself something, I'd click on the messages button, say to Viddy, hey, check this web page out. And I'd send it to myself. If a web page is throwing you an error or being extremely slow, you can always refresh the page. So the refresh button is the little circle arrow in the search bar. If I click on that, it'll refresh the page for me. Let's go back to the New York Times webpage I was at. Now, actually, I realized I want to go back to Google. So I would click the back arrow to the left of the search bar. And that takes me back to this Google search page I was at before. But then I realized, you know what? I want to go back to the New York Times webpage. So then I could click the forward arrow right next to it. These 2 buttons let me go back and forth between web pages that I was just at. One last feature I'd like to walk you guys through is the voice button. So for those residents that it's hard for you to type or you can't see the keyboard, you can always use the voice recording button to say what you want to type out. So if I click that button up in the search bar, Safari could recognize my voice and it typed out the New York Times, which is what I was saying, and it brought me to the same page as before. I really hope this video helped you guys out a little bit. It was meant to be a broad general overview of Safari, but please do let me know if you have any questions on specific buttons or features and want to know what it does. Thank you so much. Have a great day.